Joining us live, former Housing and Urban Development Secretary, Dr. Ben Carson. Dr. Carson, always a pleasure to have you on the program. Here's just one example from one Virginia teacher speaking out about this. Quote, someone's career and livelihood could be endangered. It's scaring people to death. Dr. Carson, what are these teachers and Democrats so afraid of?
Well, it's kind of interesting. First of all, Governor Youngkin recognizes that as a government official, he works for the people. The people don't work for him. And therefore, he's able to listen to what the people have said. And as far as these teachers and people who are concerned, they need to recognize, and we all need to recognize, that there's nothing to worry about if you're not doing something wrong. It's only if you're doing something that's inappropriate that you're afraid to put a spotlight on it.
Yeah, if I could just follow up for a moment, Dr. Carson, I think you're right. Isn't the solution to this relatively simple? Teach math and science and English, you know, the subjects you are supposed to teach, and don't try to inject CRT and things along those lines that shouldn't be in a classroom in the first place.
Absolutely, and allow the parents to have a voice in what's going on. You know, one of the things that distinguished our country early on was the fact that we placed so much emphasis on correct education. And I would invite people to go back and look at some of the exit exams from the 6th grade and the 8th grade several years ago and see what kids were expected to know. It was important stuff for their development. It wasn't some of the social issues that we seem to be concentrating on today.
Dr. Carson, I want to turn quickly to the Supreme Court and President Biden's promise to appoint the first black woman to the high court. He's got at least 12 candidates he's looking at, but a new poll shows 76% of voters want the president to consider all possible nominees. Now, if all 12 or most of the president's top picks are qualified, many appear to have top-notch credentials, then let me ask you, what is wrong with making the court more diverse?
Well, I'll tell you, it is so encouraging to see that the vast majority of Americans want to do things fairly, equitable way. And they're pushing back against these policies that are just race-based and that are serving to divide our nation. They're not useful whatsoever. And, you know, it's going to be a matter of the people utilizing the mechanisms that we have, fair elections, to put in place what we need. And all of this radicalism is waking people up. And that's a good thing. It's always darkest before the dawn. And I believe the dawn is coming.
I mean, the president could have selected an African-American woman without signaling that that was the reason he was selecting that person. And I think, provided that individual was qualified, the majority of the American people would be happy. You agree with that?
Absolutely. Without question. And, you know, it really is unfair to whoever he picks if it is an African-American woman, because people will from now on believe that they were not the most qualified candidate. And they may well have been, but now they're going to be tainted. And it's unfair.
I agree. It is extremely unfair to that individual who's gone through a very, very long and storied career to get to this point, in all likelihood, to have that hanging over their head. But this is what happens when you play race-based politics, which is what the Biden administration does. Dr. Ben Carson, we appreciate your time as always. Thank you very much.
I'm Steve Doocy.
I'm Brian Kilmeade.
And I'm Ainsley Earhart. And click here to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page to catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis.